Good morning, everybody. It's Teepa and Matthew. And over the past week, there have been so many sort of in the news stories. And one of them that really was interesting to me um, is this idea of the new Alzheimer's treatments and how wonderful they open this doorway and things are really changing. And it's like, are they? Well, there's a set of expert researchers, and I would say they are really expert researchers. These are not people who are just like down and out kind of folks looking for something to do. These are people who are well known in the world of dementia and in research. And they did a meta analysis of all these drugs that have been developed, have been worked on in regard to reducing the amyloid plaque load. Okay. That idea that amyloid, beta amyloid, those malformed proteins are the primary cause of brain changes that are consistent with Alzheimer's, particularly Alzheimer's, not all dementias. And there are a number of, there's a huge number of other brain change phenomena, neurodegenerative conditions that are different proteins, that are different causes, that are and there's truly this thought that if we could get rid of that beta amyloid plaque, we would have brains that functioned really well. Well, actually, what we want to do is just slow down the loss right now. Hang on. So there was a hope a while back that we were going to, if you got rid of the beta amyloid, then people's brains would bounce back. Okay. And then there's this sort of side evidence that some people could have a fair amount of beta amyloid because beta amyloid is more of a reaction of the brain and body to the idea of inflammation and this need to react. So it's an autoimmune, kind of an immune system reaction. And so it's not totally unhealthy to have beta amyloid. You should have some. You just don't want to have a heavy load of it. And for some people, they can have beta amyloid and show no evidence. As a matter of fact, what seems to be more important is what the tau load is. To be honest, I mean, that's what researchers and they're now looking at mechanisms. We've talked about all this. So what happened is they did this meta-analysis of 17 different studies that have been done. And overall, the bottom line is things don't change that much. And what was interesting is quote unquote pushback from people who are experts. How dare you combine those different ones? And it's like, well, if they're all more or less targeting the same phenomena, shouldn't we look at that and say, does this phenomena make sense to be the main thing we continue to try to treat for this one condition? Oh, by the way, if you have two APOE4 alleles, you're at risk, even with the new two drug system that are out there that if you have two of those, you're at higher risk for brain bleeds. Now, they might be small, they might not be small, but they're available clinically now. And I have many friends who are experts in this field, and they say, well, it still feels like a clinical trial, honestly, because who had been let into the trials and who's now taking the meds? Very different population. But we have other conditions in the world of dementia that people are experiencing difficulty because we keep reporting out this idea that Alzheimer's and dementia, it's like Alzheimer's, dementia. It's like, no, dementia, yeah. Alzheimer's, Lewy body, vascular dementia, FTD, PSP, PCA. I mean, it's like, okay, we need to quit saying Alzheimer's when we really mean dementia. We need to start saying, oh, one form of, it's not everybody that has Alzheimer's, by the way. If you have Down syndrome, I'm not sure how you fit into these trials because they actually haven't done a study with people who have trisomy 21. Anyway, all right, gang, till next time. Next time, we're going to focus on another question that came in, but this is one that came up. What about these drugs? Should I take them? What does it mean early? I mean, we get all kinds of questions along this line. And the answer is you should be really in conversation. You really want to know what is the thing that you at most would be looking at, and is it for you? That's an individual question. Till next time, look at your puzzle pieces maybe before you decide on, yeah, I will, or no, I won't, or I want to know more. What questions do I have? Use that pause button. Use your pipes, maybe when you're talking to your physician or your care partner. But let's get smarter, not quicker, to pull the trigger on a medication that may or may not change your brain in a way you don't intend, or it might change it in a good way. But what else are you doing? Because without the what else, what will it matter? Till next time, take care of yourself, take care with your care. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Teepa. Bye, everybody.